Been invited down to Ruinaught's new office. We're going to check out some of the new collection and have a chat with the owner, Andy, who's going to show us all of the new features. When I came in, I asked you, as a new brand and a new starter, what was one thing shocked you, or one thing that, as someone who wants to go into the industry, what is something that they should expect to happen that you didn't think of?
I think for us, like, the main thing that I think was different than what I thought it was harder than I thought it was going to be was the whole sample process. So, like, you need so much longer and so many more samples than you actually ever estimate. Like, when I first came up with the idea to do Rua, I thought we'd be able to have it launched in 6 months. It took 12 months because, speaking to my supplier, I want this specific shade of green, get this code from Pantone, and then my supplier then creates a little swatch card, so just like these. So will send me a little piece of fabric. This is what I wanted our green to be originally. Got the sample for this collection. It came out, so you can see
a little bit lighter.
Like, it's never quite perfect, and we also noticed this in our first collection. We brought out what we call the Heritage Brown, and originally I wanted it to be the colour of the brown that's out in this collection.
That's quite a big difference.
And you can see the difference.
When that arrived, what did you think?
So obviously when it arrived, I was a little bit concerned because it wasn't the colour I wanted, but at that point, because we were so far down the sample process, the material had all been bought by the supplier. So it was either write off the cost of the material and try it all again, or just release it. And so when we did our photo shoot, and the model was in it, did it in Portugal for our first collection, I looked at it and I was like, oh, these actually, I really like these pieces. Look what they're. So that was the thing. I think it's getting used to not knowing exactly what's going on all the time in the manufacturing process, because things can happen. You know, material might not come out the right colour, or we've had, with our hand sprayed pieces, one of the issues we had at the start comes in white. They cut it all together to our measurements, and then they put it in a big drum, like a big washer, and put the dye in there. It washed it for hours on a really, really high temperature to give the fade. But the problem was that the zips were breaking the first few times we were doing them. Like, they were going in, and the temperature was so high that it was like melted, and it weren't working. So we had to go back to the drawing board and change the zip. And now you can see how the zip ever so slightly fades as well on the piece, which I really like. This is powder coated in black. You can see how the black like reacts, and it turns slightly like gold and brass, which I think works really well with the piece. It works really well with the piece. It kind of adds a bit more character to the piece. I liked how the zip also got washed at the same time.
So have you noticed, as when you're setting up a new company, nothing ever goes exactly as planned, and you've just got to try and turn those sort of differences into an advantage.
Definitely. Like, I think some people may have thought that if their zip was fading like this, they wouldn't want it. But I saw that as an opportunity for it to match the same as the piece. So every cloud has a silver lining, I suppose, doesn't it?